Here's exactly how I made my first $1,000 as a notary signing agent with zero experience and just faith and hustle. And you can do it. My story and why I started. I'm going to give you a breakdown of how this journey started for me. And I was working a corporate job. I was at that job for 10 years as a billing specialist. I've been in the pharmaceutical business for 17 years at that point. And yeah, so being a single mom, I always had to have a part-time job. I worked my 9 to 5 and then I did Uber nights. And we all know when the pandemic hit, when COVID hit, I had to obviously take precaution and be safe for myself and my kids. So I couldn't do Uber anymore. And I found myself desperate for my side hustle, another side hustle. And I Googled side hustle and a bunch of ideas came. And when I came across the loan signing agent side hustle, and I read, everything that a loan signing agent was, I can't tell you guys, like, I just had a feeling and I said, I can really see myself doing this. And that's how it all started. I Googled side hustle and I came down the loan signing agent business. I started to see testimonies and I did my research. And that's how your girl got started. Yeah. So I wanted to replace my Uber income. How much did I make? One, two. I made anywhere between, I would say, $300 to $500 a week part time as an Uber driver. And with the loan signings, I definitely replaced that very, very quickly. I took a leap of faith, and I said, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to get started. And I went through the NNA. That's where they recommended for you to get your credentials. I'm based in Florida. And yeah, I followed the step-by-step process on how to get commissioned. What training should you take? And it's an open book training that I recommend. Is super easy. And yeah, and any questions that I had, I would call the NNA directly and they were super friendly, very nice. And they walked me through the whole process. And that's how I got my commission and certification. And what else do I have for you guys? I didn't want to be stuck. It just made sense. I definitely did not want to be stuck at a job working for minimum wage. And that's the reason why I did the Uber thing, because it was flexible. I did it when in my own time when I was able to do it. And, comparing the two with loan signings, you can do the same. Basically, once you sign up for these platforms, these signing services, they will text you 90% of the time, call you or email you once you build relationship. And are you available this date, this time? And you say yes or no, and most of these signings are in the evenings when everyone is off of work. That's why it was super easy for me to start this part-time because I was a 9 to 5er. I had my corporate job and I was only able to do this after work. And a lot of people that are refinancing, getting home equity lines of credit or, whatever these real estate transactions are, believe it or not, they have jobs too. And they ask and request that these signings are done in the evenings or on the weekend. They're not all done, in the daytime. So that's it. It's very, very flexible. And I truly love that about the business. And that's one of the main reasons why I said I could definitely see myself doing this. And part-time, it worked great for me, as well as it can be great for you and your family. So my first signing, I remember it like it was yesterday. Don't laugh at me, guys. But my first signing was a refinance. I printed the paperwork. I had my nice notary bag. I got all dressed up. And when I tell you guys, I was sick to my stomach. It was so close to my house. I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes from my house, which was amazing. And I was nervous. I was scared. I was sick to my stomach with butterflies and not in a good way. TMI, it literally sent me to the bathroom. I know, embarrassing. But yeah, I was so nervous. I was sick to my stomach, but I said I trained for this. I got my certification. I studied this, as much as I could. And now is the time for me to take that leap of faith and get through the signing. Just print the papers. I kept talking to myself. Okay, Valerie, you printed the paper. What else did I do? I got the sticky tabs. They which are super, super helpful. You could get these in Amazon, guys, when you start. So they had the sticky tabs that said initial here, sign here. They had blank ones that you can fill in. So me being obviously a new loan signing agent, I did not want to make any mistakes. Like that is the last thing that I wanted to do. And a refinance package is anywhere between 100 to 200 pages is a stack like this. So I wanted to make as least mistakes as possible. And I got those stickies. I went through each page and I put the sticky tab. They have to sign here. They have to initial here. They have to date here. That helped me so much. Okay. So I was prepared. I had my journal, my notary stamp, my documents. I made them copies. I was on time and early for the appointment, and I went to their home. And yeah, where I'm here for the refinance appointment. We go sit down. Guys, what takes me now 30 minutes, okay, if at that signing took me 2 hours. 2 hours to complete. I went through everything, even with sticky tabs. I was so nervous, but I got through it. Thank God they were super nice, very friendly. I did not tell them this was my first signing. I don't recommend you do that either. I mean, it all depends on you, but I did not tell them it was my first rodeo. And yeah, I got through it. It took me 2 whole hours, and I was just happy that I got it done. But yeah, so it was a refinance. And how much did it pay? I think it paid 125, give or take. And it was literally like 5 minutes from my house. And that was my first signing, guys. I'm not sure if I've shared that anywhere else. I think you were the first to know that. But yeah, I was extremely nervous, but I tried my very best to stay professional and not have any errors. And I think, and to be honest, I think I double checked the paperwork right after. I went to my car and I checked the paperwork again, okay, in my car before leaving, driving to my house. And I missed an initial. I missed an initial or a signature. And I went back and I knocked on their door and I got it, signed or initialed. So that's another thing. It's super, super important to triple check your paperwork at the table, in your car, and before you ship the documents. Okay. Until you feel super comfortable. But even then, till this day, I double check my paperwork before anything to make sure I'm not missing anything before I leave their house. So yeah, it's hard like anything in life to get through the first one. But yeah, you just keep going. You keep going, you get experience, you get a couple under your belt. And then once I started and I had a couple, I remember I was super excited. I couldn't wait to go to the next signing and print the documents. And it was something new, and it was a learning curve. And it definitely takes time to get better at it, but the more you do it, you get better. So, yeah, it is what it is, but the whole point and the purpose is to get your feet wet and keep moving forward and just get started. So what did I do then? All right. So I quickly made my first $1,000 in my first month and I replaced my Uber income. And that's obviously, I was like, okay, this is a great side hustle business that I can do. And where did I find my clients? So a lot of people say, oh my God, how do I get work? I wouldn't know what to do. So I paid for another course that trained me on the loan documents. Okay. And they also provided me with a list. I think that list had about 300 signing services. So these are platforms online where you enter all your credentials, and that's how you get signings. It's just like applying for a job. When you go online and you have to enter your work experience and upload your resume, this is exactly the same thing. So you go into each signing service in that list. If you don't have the list, obviously you could Google it. Signing services in Florida, example. Signing services in New York, Tennessee, New Jersey, Houston, wherever it is that you're from. Near me, you put your zip code or I don't know, and all these signing services will come up and you could, put all your credentials in there and you'll quickly get work. Now, in the beginning, I signed up for all the major signing services: SnapDocs, Signing Order, signingagent.com, Notary Dash, and 123 Notary, and more. I did way more than that. I think I signed up for a lot of signing services. I also cold emailed local title companies. Till this day, I do that, guys. And I introduced myself professionally. I created a basic profile. I listed my credentials. And I stayed ready to accept jobs. Once I got a few good reviews and completed signings, then more opportunities started to come in. So, like anything, once you have experience and these signing services see that you do good work as a loan signing agent, you don't have that many errors, you're punctual, you're reliable, you're professional, they will definitely use you more often. And the same with title companies. You market to these title companies and you show them, that you're professional, flexible, reliable, and they will call you and give you more work. And that's how you start your business, which is great. Okay, what I did right. I over prepared. I definitely did. I studied documents, and I remember when I first started, I signed up for a notary support group in Facebook. And any questions that I had, I would post my question on there, and that community was so nice. You could also do this. Get a local notary community in your area, in Tampa, in Florida, wherever you're from, and you'll find all these groups, of notaries and loan signing agents. And thank God that I was blessed to find a good one. And any questions that I had, I would post them on there. And I built a relationship with another loan signing agent. She was super nice. And she even gave me her direct number, and she was kind of like a mentor, in the beginning for me. And she helped me so much, and I'm so grateful. And that is the main reason why today I offer mentorship, because I know it can be overwhelming. It can be scary. And, when you're starting anything new, you're definitely going to have a lot of questions and you're going to need guidance. But receiving the guidance from the right people is key. Okay. So, yeah, so I triple checked my work every signing before leaving, as I followed up with title companies and signing services. And I stayed consistent and I prayed through discouragement. Oh, did I pray? I prayed a lot. Like my first signing, I was sick to my stomach. I was nervous. I had fear, and I got through it. And every signing, before every signing, I always prayed for God to give me wisdom and guidance and to get through them. And thank you, Jesus. Till this day, I ask him, to give me wisdom and to handle different personalities and different people, because you do meet people on the daily basis, with professionalism. And what did I do wrong? Ooh, the list goes on. So, yeah, guys, I'm not perfect. I'm human. I definitely made mistakes, even on my first signing. Like I told you guys, I missed a signature, even with the sticky tabs or whatever, an initial. And yeah, that's just one thing. Okay. Missing a signature and an initial. The next part is I undercharged myself early on. Okay. A lot of some of the title companies, even signing services, there's a flat fee or a rate that is acceptable, for us notaries. And, I remember title companies will call me or email me, are you available for this job? And they ask, how much do you charge? And I was not giving the correct amount that I should have charged them. Initially, title companies pay you more and quicker. And I was definitely undercharging them. And that was a huge mistake from my end. Yeah, you can charge a title company anywhere between $150 to $350. And I was charging them what signing services used to pay me. And yeah, that was a huge mistake. I didn't market locally soon enough. That is for sure one that I regret. I did a lot of signing services jobs and I waited a very long time before I even started to market to title companies. If I'm correct, I think I didn't start marketing to title companies until 6 months later. And that is pretty bad from my end. I might have known, I don't know. Like I said, I was new sooner that once I had about a dozen under my belt signings, I should have started a lot sooner. And I definitely would have created those relationships with title companies and made more money. So, yep, I didn't market locally soon enough. That's number 2. Number 3, I procrastinated on getting a mobile scanner. Guys, don't make the mistakes I made. Okay, I did not have a mobile scanner. I had a scanner that I use only at home. You can have a scanner at home, but what is key? You need a mobile scanner in your car because signing services, title companies, when they send you to an appointment, okay, to complete a signing, they need documents 90% of the time immediately after the appointment is done. Within 2 hours, technically, you have to upload the scanned signed documents immediately to get approved for funding. Okay, for funding approval or whatever. And you have to have a mobile scanner early on. I did not purchase it until months later. And it was very stressful for me to be in one appointment in one county and finish the appointment and then rush to the house to scan documents because they're waiting on me to scan these documents to get funding approval. That is a huge mistake from my end. And I hope you guys don't make the same mistake. That's why I say when you buy a scanner, make sure it is a mobile scanner. And then you have to get the adapter to connect it. And depending on the laptop that you have to get another, USB gadget, All of this will be broken down in another video, but you need a mobile scanner. That's a mistake I made. I let fear slow me down at first, like thinking I wasn't ready. I did get through my first signing, but I was getting a lot of signing requests by text. And I was scared. I'm not going to lie. I was scared to accept them because I didn't have experience. So it took me a couple of weeks before I finally hit accept. I'm not going to lie and get the first signing done. So don't make that mistake. Just do it. Like Nike, just do it. Get it done. I didn't think I was ready, so it took me long. But every mistake was a lesson that helped me grow. Now, looking back 5 years later, I've had plenty of experience and I know my worth. I know what I know. I'm a good loan signing agent. And yeah, I don't hesitate with, on signings of what I am worth now. So either they pay me or they don't. But for the most part, they do because, like I said, I have experience. And once you build these relationships, you're good to go. And let's see. What advice for new agents starting out? So let me give you guys some advice. Do not overthink it. Start where you are. We are all new. We all start somewhere. You start a new school. You learn something new. We were all beginners at some point of our lives. You don't need to have it all figured out. You definitely do not. Look at me now. I I still don't have it all figured out, but I'm still moving forward, and you figure it out and you get better at it. Focus on learning the documents and showing up professionally. That is a huge big deal. Study the loan documents. And I did that. When I printed these documents, I took time to go over the pages and, to briefly give a description of what they're signing. I studied that. I became knowledgeable on what the documents are. You're not a lawyer by law, but you do have to somewhat have some knowledge of what you're explaining to the borrowers of what they're signing and show up professionally. What does that mean? That means be on time and please, for the love of God, you're not going to wear tops showing your skin. Yeah, so many things. Like, it's common sense, dress. If you want to be respected, like anywhere, even at a corporate job or anywhere in life, I believe in dressing professional, okay? And be professional, speak professional, yeah. And don't compare your day one, my year 5. You cannot compare. I have been through a lot through experience, and comparison is the thief of everything. So the first $1,000 is always the hardest. I can definitely agree to that. After that, it gets easier. Once I made my first $1,000, guys, believe me when I tell you, I quickly jumped to $3,000. I was like, I couldn't believe it, how quickly, you make money in this business, because being a notary loan signing agent, you are needed. They contact you for, to get the job done. You're not out there looking. Well, technically, you do market yourself, but what I'm saying is, for the most part, you're needed. Okay? There are real estate transactions happening on the daily basis, and they all need a notary to notarize and legalize these documents. Okay? And remember that it gets easier. Okay? So once you get over that, making $1,000, it gets easier to making more money. You're going to quickly make it to 3,000 and then 5,000. And another one, let faith be your foundation. That is my number one. Without God, I know I cannot do anything, and I definitely owe all the glory and praise to Him for the opportunity, for giving me the wisdom to get through this loan signing agent journey. And I'm super grateful to where I'm at today, and I cannot wait to see where He's taking me next. But there's room for you in this industry, and stay ready and stay consistent. That's all I can say. All right. So your mindset and trusting God in the process is key, guys. Like, you have to have a mindset of, I'm gonna get this done. Like, whatever it takes, I'm gonna do it. Okay. There were times when I wanted to give up. I doubted myself and I worried that I wasn't qualified, because it's the truth. I didn't feel qualified, and it can be very overwhelming. But I kept reminding myself, God doesn't give us a vision without provision. Okay. God put it in my heart that I could get through it and I could make it happen. And if you're led to this business, you have to trust that He'll equip you for it. And that's exactly what happened to me. If you feel that nudge, pray on it and get to it, because you are needed. Believe it. Believe it or not, you're needed. I prayed before every signing, and I reminded myself that I'm not doing this alone. As I said before, till this day, before I walk into a house, I pray all the time. And my faith gave me strength, direction, and the push that I needed to keep going. And that's all you can do. So remember, if I can do this, so can you. And if you've been interested in becoming a loan signing agent, I have an ebook, The Loan Signing Agent Ultimate Guide. You could find the link below. You can also get my freebie, sign up for that. That's just basic information on how to become a loan signing agent, the blueprint. Okay. Yeah. And if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner that would like to take your business to the next level, you can find my 2 courses below that can help you do that, which is the UBC course and the Digital Wealth Academy. You could find those links below. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And if you learned anything today, I hope you did. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe to my channel for weekly videos, tips, and on how to get started on your loan signing agent business. And I'm super happy that you made it through this video. If you made it this far, guys, thank you so much. You could comment a white pure heart below to let me know you made it this far, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.